Is the price of freedom. On Memorial Day, we salute the men and women whose bravery and sacrifice preserve the freedoms we enjoy. Good evening, everybody. While many of us have a picnic or take that first dip in the pool, Memorial Day is a day of solemn remembrance for those who died in service to our country.
In Washington, President Trump paid a visit to Arlington National Cemetery. He laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Here at home, there was a special Memorial Day reunion in northern Kentucky.
Two highly decorated World War II airmen who survived a treacherous bombing mission got together for the first time in 73 years. Local 12's Joe Webb was there and has their story.
At Highland Cemetery this morning, they remembered the fallen and celebrated two survivors. 100-year-old John Klette was a B-17 co-pilot in World War II. On one of his 51 bombing missions, 95-year-old Art Unruh was his waist gunner. On that mission, they were swamped by German fighters, shot to pieces and set on fire. Unruh shot down the last of the fighters. Klette nursed a wounded B-17 home.
600 holes in it, and we had no oxygen. We had fire in the ball turret and a fire in the tail of the airplane. They had half the rudders blown away.
They never flew together again. After the war, Unruh settled in Washington State. Klette came home to northern Kentucky and set up a law practice. 73 years and 10 months after the mission that earned them both a Silver Star, what's left of the crew is back together.
Just wish we'd have been closer and been able to get together.
Yeah, we finally made it. Finally got together, yeah.
The two were honored as the Grand Marshals of this year's Park Hills Memorial Day Parade. John Klette's home before and after the war.
Their war heroics is a great story, and so is their reunion. But perhaps the best story of John Klette and Art Unruh is the story of what they did after the war. Like millions of other GIs, they came home and built the modern America.
John Klette is an attorney. Not was, is. He is still a practicing real estate attorney.
See, I'd been admitted to the Kentucky bar before I went into the Air Force even. I'm now the oldest practicing lawyer with 71 years of 71 years of practice.
Actually 76 years and counting. Unruh came home to work in a Kansas salt mine. He quickly got out of that and into auto parts, eventually owning his own store in Monroe, Washington.
So life has been good. It wasn't the greatest paying job in the world, but there's a paycheck there. In all of my years, I have never, ever collected one dime of unemployment.
Klette and Unruh are humble about their achievements. 12 air medals between them, nearly 200 combat missions. Humble and still ready to serve.
If we had to do it again, I'd do it.
Thanks, guys, but you've already done your part. In Fort Mitchell, Joe Webb, Local 12 News.
Thank you to all our veterans. Klette and Unruh were also recognized today by the Tuskegee Airmen Association.